At this time, I'd like to call the Committee of the Whole meeting to order. Let the record reflect it is Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021 at 7:03 p.m. Meeting is being conducted pursuant to Governor Pritzker's Disaster Proclamation, Public Act 101-0640, which amends requirements of the Open Meetings Act due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Pursuant to the same, the village board finds it would be impractical to conduct an in-person meeting with all members present. I would ask at this time that the elected officials confirm they can hear one another. President Vandenberg. Absent. Clerk Therian.
I can hear you.
Trustee Berg.
I can hear you.
Trustee Brady.
Loud and clear.
Trustee Brennan.
I can hear you.
Trustee Galante.
I can hear you.
Trustee Mueller.
Good evening, Mike.
Hi, Mike. All the materials for this meeting are available on the village's website, and we recommend the members of the public follow the agenda as posted. For the items with public comment, after members have spoken, I will forward public comment as follows. Once I, the chair, have a list of all public commenters, I will call on each person present at the meeting and afford them 3 minutes for their comment. Further time up to an additional 3 minutes may be granted by motion of the village board. The public was also provided the opportunity to submit a request till noon today by email at the clerk's office at tinleypark.org or by placing their written request in the drop box at Village Hall to participate publicly via a live telephone call at the relevant portion of the meeting. The public was provided the opportunity to submit written comments until noon today by emailing their public comments to the clerk's office at tinleypark.org or by placing their written comments in the drop box at the Village Hall. Written comments will not be read aloud. And finally, each vote taken tonight in the meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Berg.
Here.
Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Brennan.
Here.
Trustee Galante.
Here.
Trustee Glatz.
Present.
Trustee Mueller.
Here.
President Vandenberg. Absent.
Item number 2, I'd like to make a motion to consider approval of the minutes of the special committee of the whole meeting held on February 16, 2021. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mike. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thanks, Kristen. Item 3, discuss waiving the 1-year requirement for occupancy and awarding an AV liquor gaming license for Zen Club, 18211 Harlem Avenue. You want to take that, Hannah?
I will take that one. Thank you, Trustee Glatz. I will introduce this briefly. I will say that Erin Gallagher, a representative of the, of Zen Club, is here, so she could always talk through the business plan and answer any questions a bit further as well. This was before you, at the previous COW. It's before you again to talk about it in-depth a little bit more. This is a Class AV liquor and video gaming request, in addition to a request to waive the 365-day wait period for video gaming. Zen Club is a wine bar concept. They currently have locations in Manhattan and New Lenox. And you have a bit more information in your packet. There is a floor plan and some pictures from the current locations. And with that, I will turn it over to Erin to explain further or answer any questions.
Good evening. Thanks for giving me your time this evening. Last time we were here, I presented little fancy folders, and I don't know if you still have them, but I don't really have anything else to add other than to answer questions.
Okay, and we'll start over here. Diane, do you want to go first?
I don't think I have any other, I have questions.
No?
No questions.
Mike?
Yeah, so CD Liquors in Tinley Park, when did you guys own that?
So the family has, there are several members of the family that have owned multiple locations. They sold CD Liquors, I don't know the dates, I'm sorry, I don't have the dates, but they recently sold CD Liquors. They had a Bolingbrook location, a Manhattan location, and a Mokina location for a very long time as well.
Okay, so it was a year ago?
Recently, yeah.
Okay. And then, your new Lennox location, I believe it said that you needed a 50-50 split between gaming and non-gaming?
Right. New Lenox has a very interesting requirement that they did not want to court any bistros or any gaming houses, and they didn't want to threaten the existing businesses, such as the veterans and fraternal organizations. And so when they allowed gaming, it was first 40-60, and then it's gone to 50-50%. And so they have to generate 50% non-gaming revenue.
Okay, and you guys have hit all those marks?
Yes, my role as an independent consultant for the business is to help find the right match between the community and the business owner. So they have different locations with different business models. And in New Lenox, the business model is, the existing location is retail-oriented, so they do a lot of wine sales and some gifts out of there. They also have opening up a new location that's going to be more food-oriented. So it just, they're two different places in town, so they're slightly different business models there. They do have other business models as well. So what we're proposing here is a business that has a separate room for gaming and has an entire bar area.
Yeah, so the drawing for the restaurant area is a little bit new. We just got that today. Quite a few tables, so this is quite a bit different than the new Lenox location that's primary retail.
It is, right, because the New Lenox location does wine memberships as well, and so they have monthly retail people who come in and get wine every month. And part of that reason was that it was across the street from the popular wine business that's escaping my mind right now, but they are,
Cooper's Hawk?
thank
Yeah.
you, they're right across the street from Cooper's Hawk.
Yeah, they're a
So
little bit away, but yeah.
they're very different businesses, but the idea was that they would offer a monthly, and, like birds of a feather flock together geographically in business. And so it seems to be working very well for them there.
And does the mailer sale go towards your 50% requirement in Lennox?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand?
So it's kind of the mailer sale for wine. You subscribe or
Oh,
something?
the memberships.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, well, wine retail, when you get a bottle, that goes toward a retail sales product and not the gaming revenue. So gaming revenue is entirely different.
Correct, and does the money that you do on those memberships and those wines, that goes towards the 50%
Yes, sir.
requirement for
Right.
New Lennox?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
As well as all the walk-in sales and the gift baskets and some of the other things.
Yeah,
And the bar sales.
correct. And then with the additional tables and stuff here, I know the menu was a little light. Is that still the case? Were you guys modifying that at all to make it a little bit more restaurant-y, or is it still cheese plates and that type of stuff?
Yeah, the menu is, my experience with menus is that they are always in revision. So the general concept is essentially what was presented. It can go in a little bit more depth. I don't think that they want to be a full, they don't want to compete with restaurants that offer, fine dining and five-course meals and all of that. They want it to be more of a lighter pub-type atmosphere, and that's the kind of crowd that they're looking for.
Okay. And then, as you guys were putting this together, what percentage did you guys think, with New Lenox in mind, gaming versus non-gaming revenues for this location?
I know that they have looked at the numbers very closely and put some estimates together, but I'm not privy to what the exact ratios are going to be.
Okay.
I don't know that I have a real solid answer for you.
Okay. Those are the questions I had, Mike.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, Mike, that was very thorough, very good questions.
Anything else?
No, I mean, the only thing that I would ask, is this project going to move forward without the gaming?
So I was asked that question last time I was here, and I didn't have an answer, and I'm prepared to answer that now. The business owners would very much consider having a business without the gaming, but not at this location. So if that is something that this board sees fit, we would have to withdraw this proposal and find a different location. And the key difference here is this is a prime geographic location with a separate room that's already built in, and the rent for this particular facility matches the size and the separate room. So if we were to have something without gaming, we would need to find something at a considerably different rent cost.
Yeah.
So the gaming is going to help pay the bills here.
Right. I mean, I know the rent in that corner is, substantial. I just,
So
I'd hate to lose it. I mean, we had that restaurant there that was a Tinley Park staple, and it's been there for a long time, and it was, I'd hate to replace a fine restaurant with, just a gaming shop. That's kind of where, where my head's at, but.
Well, and I think that there's a lot of sensitivity to that now, especially with the state of a lot of businesses and a lot of restaurants that have been lifelong restaurants that have been around a long time are going out of business. And
Right.
it's heart-wrenching. I mean, just across the board. I can't promise that this is going to be that.
Right.
In fact, I'm almost certain that it won't be that. But I think that I think it's a good business. I think it's a great business concept. I think these tenants, as far as being clients of mine for a long time, I enjoy working with them. They're good people. And I think that, we've put together a project here that I think would complement this community, and that was the whole point.
Yeah, and I like the wine club idea too. It's
And top shelf whiskey, don't forget that.
very good. Excellent.
That was my question, is that I recall, do the other locations have this top shelf whiskey and bourbon, et cetera?
In New Lenox, yes, and it's doing very, very well. I think there are some pictures in that book that are, Johnny Walker Blue by the Pour. It's very nice, and it goes very well.
Okay.
The idea is that they're not just targeting wine drinkers, but they also want to have an environment for gentlemen to come in. It's 21 and over. You're not going to get, the Bobby Soxers, so to speak. You're going to get people who allow you to sit and have an enjoyable drink, whether it's a glass of wine or a glass of scotch.
I want to thank you for that flashback. I haven't heard the term Bobby Soxer in a long time. Few of these
I'm
guys
on.
should hear it.
Anyone else?
We'll explain it to you guys.
Yeah, I just, for that location, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable waiving the 1 year for that location with all those homes being behind it, but that's just me. I don't know how anyone else feels about that, but if there's nothing else from anyone, you guys, what do you want to?
May I make a comment to that, though, please? When you do business in a community, as long as this family's done business in Tinley Park, I'd ask that you'd consider that, because it's my understanding that there has been accommodation made for other longstanding businesses and business owners, and I think that there is a correlation here that we're asking you to consider.
Thank you. For me, it's just more of location. So, somebody want to make a motion on this, or?
I'm not comfortable making a motion at this time. I'm sorry. It's, I think a restaurant with a bar that was more pub food, that was, a little more substantial on the food side, I'd be a little more comfortable, but at this time, I'm not.
Ask again, does anyone like to make a motion to waive the 1 year requirement? Okay. So, and, sorry, but it would fail for a lack of a motion.
The motion was to waive the one-year requirement.
Correct.
No motion was made.
But it's my understanding that the liquor license and the gaming license are also up for a vote tonight?
On the regular agenda, they are, so, but that's the 1 year, your 1 year waiver will not be a part of that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. So the only thing up for a vote at this particular meeting is the 1-year waiver?
Correct.
And then the other items are at the next meeting?
It would be an AV license.
It's for the liquor license and the gaming
it's
as
looking
well.
at
I
one.
think the consideration was just,
Give
are
the
the two,
V.
will they be willing to do one without the other though?
Okay. And then it's your guys, without the 1 year waiver, are you guys prepared to go forward on the licenses, or would you withdraw that request?
I'm not withdrawing, no.
Okay, why don't we take them on two separate ones? So the first motion before the committee tonight is to waive the 1 year requirement. I think the chairman has called that twice. Hearing no motion, I think we can move to the AV license with, obviously that would come with the regular standards that you would have to, excuse me, that'd be an A license.
It would just end up being an A license.
Okay, so, and did they submit for the A without the?
The request was the AV.
Right, okay. And so it would be an AV, but you can have gaming for 1 year,
Couldn't have
correct?
video
That's fine,
gaming, you would
okay.
have to have an AV.
So is there a motion to move up the AV without the waiver?
Which would in a sense be liquor license only.
Yeah.
Uh,
It would just be an A.
I'll make that motion for an A.
And I'll second that motion.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll?
Trustee Berg.
Abstain.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
So, you want to take this, or do you want me to?
Take the,
Because you got the agendas all tied to it.
you mean for later tonight? Yeah, so, all right, so later tonight,
There isn't any motion on tonight's agenda.
There's nothing
there's nothing. Okay, so at the next meeting, they'll have the liquor license without the gaming for approval, and that will be for a vote. I don't think we'll need to come back for committee on that. That will be a vote at their next full board meeting, which I believe is
16?
2 weeks from tonight.
So the motion, motion carries for an A license.
Correct.
I'm confused, and I apologize, I just am not understanding. So we're here tonight on the agenda is for an AV license, and you've decided to grant only A because you're not waiving the V for a year?
Correct, so then
Correct.
you may have the A license for a year and then come back after a year's time to get the gaming portion of that.
By default, it automatically
Right.
goes to an A.
So it does, okay, that's my question. So the AV was approved and the V will automatically default in 365 days?
No.
No?
No, you have the liquor license, the ability to sell liquor. The way the AV works is, you have to come back, all businesses have to show that they can, whatever, stand on their own 2 feet on the liquor license alone, then within 365, they can come back and get the gaming license.
I see. Okay, so even though it's on the agenda as an AV, you can vote on it as just an A because
Absolutely.
of that clause. I apologize. I appreciate you explaining that to me.
But it doesn't mean you can't come back in 6 months or whatever, but just as now, it was approved as just a liquor license.
I understand. Thank you for your time, everybody. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Item number 4. Discuss amending certain sections of the Tinley Park Municipal Code motor vehicle licensing pertaining to free stickers for certain departments, agencies. Who's taking this one? Go ahead, Pat.
Thanks, trustee Glatz. We're just cleaning up an old ordinance, goes back to 1965 and then again in 1977, giving free stickers to Tinley Park Volunteer Fire Department and the Emergency Management Agency. Now that these both departments are paid departments, we're cleaning up this ordinance to eliminate that.
Thanks, Pat. Any questions from the board? I'll make a motion. For a second. Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5, discuss agreement with Tyler Technology for the online portal for vehicle license. Who would like to take that one? Mr. Brown?
Thank you. Included in your packet is a proposal from Tyler Technologies for our Eden software system. This would be to incorporate online payment for two of our modules, one being the vehicle sticker module and the other being our licensing module, which covers business license at this point, but we would hope to expand that and utilize the licensing module for all the licenses that the village issues.
Any questions? I'll make a motion. I have a second.
Second.
Thanks, Cindy. Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Trustee
Thanks,
Berg.
Angie.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes. Motion carries. Number 6, discuss license plate recognition update, Phase 2 request. Commander Tenza, you taking that one?
John and I are going to share it, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. As you're aware, back in 2019, the initial contract, as we call Phase 1, was awarded to Minuteman Security for installation of cameras at indiscriminate locations within the town. I do not want to get into details for security reasons, but as that time has gone, the work with the police department has proved to be positive with what results they have been able to achieve with the software and installations. Subsequently to that, Assistant Village Manager Pat Carr was able to coordinate to receive a Homeland Security grant, as we are now finalizing the steps of that grant for reimbursement. It's our request to bring into Phase 2 of installations. Again, as you can tell in your packet, those locations have been redacted, but you know, they are the next recommendations for locations based on the police department's needs of area. We did coordinate with Minuteman. Their initial contract was shown in individual installations, and by combining those locations, we were able to realize upwards of an $18,000 savings. So we are requesting for the board's approval for a Phase 2 installation at the cost of $149,000 and some change.
Thanks, John. Any questions for John? Or Stan, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Just want to echo what John said. These cameras have been instrumental and have served us well with the police department. They've increased our apprehension rate, or the ability to identify offenders, and we are able to now flood areas where we are made aware of cars that are used in felonious acts. So they are very, very well received by the police department.
Right, so then that camera sends something to your dispatchers, and then they dispatch it to your sergeant?
And they, once the LPR is tripped, the 911 center receives that. They vet that trip to make sure it's an accurate hit. And then what we do is we flood that area with patrol cars.
Perfect, thank you. If there's nothing else, someone want to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second it. Thank you, Bill and Bill. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Berg.
Thanks,
Yes.
guys.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes. Motion carries. Item 7, discuss bulk fuel contract. John?
Yes, sir, thank you. So, back a few years ago, we started utilizing our ability from the state release of commodities to not have to bid out suppliers of fuel. It was our request to continue that process and utilize the current supplier, Warren Oil, that has taken care of our supplies for unleaded and diesel materials. One thing we are asking to do with this upcoming contract is to establish the ability to add the Park District onto it. We've had some conversations with the Park District and Warren Oil and found that it would be beneficial for both parties to have a combined contract. One of the main things being the Park District has not been able to receive costs as low as the village in its entirety has been able to receive. And the other item is the fact that our contract is based on a bulk amount that we establish. And if we go over that amount, we are paying what the average is at that time of day. by adding the Park District to it, we're able to increase our bulk amount and give us a little bit more of a buffer from going over that delivery amount. So we have discussed with Mr. Sean Roby at the Park District. He is presenting this to his board tomorrow, and we're looking for this board's approval to move forward with the contract with Warren Oil for the upcoming year of bulk fuel purchase.
Great job, Johnny.
Mr. Chairman.
Any questions from anyone? You want to, go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, after last meeting, we looked at it as well, and the way that the bulk oil was purchased through the state programs and whatnot, we, absolutely benefits the village here, and we have no problem with it. And joining with the Park District, the whole situation benefit both. So we're absolutely comfortable going forward if the board so chooses.
Thanks, Patrick. I'll make a motion. I'm sorry. Anyone have a question first for John?
I did have one item I wanted to add here that, in the description. Because the way this commodity works, we're not able to lock in an exact price per gallon until, I mean, it changes like stocks where it changes, on the hour. So we have a potential value per gallon. As you see in your write-up, right now it was between $1.95 and $2.05 per gallon, and that was more on the conservative side. So I'm asking for the authority for the village manager to lock in the per gallon rate this week as soon as we get the approval from the board level.
Yep, absolutely, like we discussed. Get it locked in because we don't know what's going to happen to the fuel rates.
They're gonna go up.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Nice work, John.
Any questions from the board? I'll make a motion. I have a second.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Bill. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8, discuss sign for Tinley Park Convention Center. Kimberly, are you doing that one?
No, I'm gonna handle that.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Sure. So we, staff recently had a meeting with our convention center manager, the Hart Group. Number of items on the agenda. One of the items is, for the last couple of years, we really need to replace the, kind of the landmark Harlem Avenue sign, which identifies convention center, but also is a recognized landmark for entrance to Tinley Park from I-80. Several issues with this 15-year-old sign, poor resolution, the LED panels burnt out, motherboard is flamed out, hard to get replacement parts. And this new board will allow us to be able to do Amber Alerts, public service announcements, advertise village special events. And so obviously now as we're coming out of COVID and beginning to reignite our tourism economy, this is really an appropriate time to purchase that. There was money that we had in the budget for flag poles, which we at some point do need to get. But we think that this sign is an important priority that will generate, revenue for the village in terms of tourism, and it's important that we move forward with it now. So there's a quote that they did get from Van Bruggen Signs for $121,918 for a new digital jumbotron sign, which we would ask the board to move forward.
Any questions from the board?
Quick question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Really quick for finance then. I recall a couple of years ago when we closed the TIF, there was additional funds. Was that already depleted, or is there any residual that's left over that we could transfer to this?
The only funds that we held back within the TIF was in regard to clawback on property taxes.
Okay.
Where people have filed appeals but don't get settled.
Right.
If it didn't get settled before the TIF was closed, the county will still come back after us to collect that money back. We kept a little reserve to address that issue.
So there's no fees for maintenance or anything like
So
that?
there would be nothing that we could spend for these other.
Okay. Thanks, Brad.
Is that it, Jake?
Yes, thank you.
I just wanted to say it's a great idea, as everything that, Dave, you said is important as a threshold of coming into our village. But my project, 3 years ago, we started on it. Please don't forget the flagpoles. It was amazing that there was never an American flagpole put there in the first place. So I've talked to the Veterans Commission about doing it as well. So let's keep that in mind.
Thanks, Mr.
We haven't forgotten about it, but
Okay.
Thanks, Mr. Brady. Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Burke?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Glatz?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 9, receive comments from the public. Laura, is there anything that we received electronically or in your Dropbox for public? Okay. Would anyone from the public like to address any comments that were on the agenda tonight? Hi, Ben.
Did that sign go out to, for RFP?
They did get a couple quotes, yes.
Was it a public RFP or did they just go out and get quotes from a
They
couple?
got quotes.
All right. Is there a reason why they didn't do it through an RFP process?
I mean, this is the type of thing, I think, that not, it's specialized, so, I mean, but they did get another quote, the other quote.
From
didn't
Phil
include
Bruckman.
installation.
Construction, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Phil Bruckman, Dave.
Hey,
Gave
Dave,
another quote.
just a quick question. What's the construction cost with,
121?
Well, this includes.
no, just the construction cost?
Oh, I don't know, it's all included in that figure.
Oh, okay.
I have to, yeah.
Break it down.
Ben, the other quote was from Phil Bruckman.
Yeah.
Okay, does anyone else like to make a public comment? Let the record reflect there are none. I'll make a motion to adjourn the special call at 7:34 PM. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Bill. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Burke?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Glatz?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.